Welcome everyone to a new video. So in this video we're going to look at the organic chemistry part from TIFR 2020 exam, and we are going to look at the solutions to the various problems that were asked from the organic chemistry. So let's start the video. So in this problem what we have is an chloro-substituted aniline having substitutions, acetyl substitution and the ketonic substitution, and when we are treating this with potassium amide in ammonia and we are heating it. So basically they are given us four options. इस तरह का question, a very similar question was asked in JAM exam as well, and this is entirely based on the benzyne chemistry. So we are going to look at the options that are given to us. So जो पहला option है हमारा option number A, what they have shown is that potassium amide का जो amide है it is replacing chloro. ठीक है, I think this doesn't sound reasonable enough because there's just no driving force for this amine to directly replace this chloro. So option 1 can be neglected. और option C, D और B के बारे में हम देख लेते हैं यहाँ पे. ठीक है, so let us suppose what must be happening. Since potassium amide हमको पता है it is a base, so what it can do, so what we have just look at what are the things that can happen here. So okay, हमको पता है कि potassium amide in liquid ammonia it can abstract this hydrogen resulting in the formation of benzynes of this sort, right? Apart from that it is a base as well, right? And what we have is an active methylene groups. जैसे यहाँ पर हमारा this is an active methylene group. ठीक है, मतलब ये प्रोटोन जो यहाँ पर एसोसिएटेड है these are acidic in nature. Let us पहले हम कंसिडर करते हैं this particular proton is being abstracted by the base. मतलब आपका potassium amide ने वाला base abstract किया, what we form is an enolate. At the same time the other amide anion, what it is doing, it is abstracting this proton abstract करने के बाद what it is generating ammonia, और reaction भी आपका ammonia में हो रहा है. So there is absolutely no issue. So what do you generate is a benzyne. So this is the intermediate that you are generating. So what is happening, हमको पता है कि benzynes are electrophilic in nature, and in C2 what you have generated is a nucleophilic species. This is a nucleophilic enolate. So जब ऑक्सीजन के lone pair इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ आते हैं, this is going to attack the benzyne and it is going to give you compound number C, जो कि हमारा option number C में दिया भी हुआ है. But this cannot be the right option. Why? What they are because what you are getting is a 7-membered ring, and forming 7-membered ring in such a fashion is not favored. Actually, अगर आपने पढ़ा हो कि the synthesis of such higher size ring are not thermodynamically favorable. So अगर इसके other products are possible, if there are other products are possible for this particular reaction, then such pathways are not preferred. So we are going to look at the other pathways that are possible, जो कि ज़्यादा probable भी हैं. ठीक है, so now let us look at the other methylene group. यहाँ पर आपका क्या है कि what we have is an active methylene group of yellow hydrogen which is basic. Exactly, so instead of this hydrogen it is going to abstract this particular proton. So ammonia, this is exactly what amide anion does, abstract this proton, it results in the formation of this enolate. At the same time the other amide ion is going to abstract this proton to form the benzyne. So again what you have is an enolate and benzyne. So once this comes back and attacks is what it leads to the formation of this 5-membered ring system. And here what is the driving force for this one? To form the aromatic system. So we are pretty much familiar with such system. Such systems are indoles, or indoles are highly stable, काफ़ी stable system होते हैं. So that is the reason why this proton is it is undergoing tautomerism. So I should have written a tautomer here. ठीक है, this is not right. I have written a direct arrow. It should be reversal. So these two are the tautomer, and compound tend to exist in this particular tautomer. Why? Because in this case it gains extra stability by aromatization. So the correct option in this case is option number B, and option number C cannot be the correct option. ठीक है. So the other problem which was asked to us, they have given us this amine, benzylic amine, and this is the protecting group is given to us, and they have said which reagent should we use that after deprotection it gives us the benzylamine, carbon dioxide and the tertiary butanol. They have given us the various sets of condition. अगर हमको पता हो, I have already made a video on the protections of protecting group for various amine, जिसका लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी आप देख भी सकते हैं उसको. So we know that such Boc groups are very stable under basic condition, right? They are stable under basic condition, they are stable under catalytic hydrogenation condition. अगर हमको option देखें, option number B is base, right? So this cannot be the right option because we know Boc protecting group is pretty stable under basic condition. At the same time, option number D, we can clearly neglect it, that this is going to be pretty stable under the कैटलेटिक हाइड्रोजनेशन कंडीशन. और ऑप्शन नंबर सी जो हमको दिया हो कि NaCl दिया हुआ है यहाँ पर, ठीक है. सो सिंस इन दी प्रोडक्ट्स वी आर नॉट सीइंग एनी any formation of what you can call it, any chloride ion here. So it means option C can also be neglected. And we know Bock are pretty sensitive to the acidic condition. So this is what they have given us, H3O plus and HACl. और NaCl का I think a very similar example अगर आपने पढ़ा हो, NaCl and DMS, so it's called captured decarboxylation, which is used for the ester. Under such conditions, I don't think there is anything that is going to happen. So किस तरह से these Bocks are deprotected under acidic condition is depicted here. So what is happening is basically under the acidic condition, what is happening, this carbonyl, it is getting protonated. Once it gets protonated, the water that is present, it is going to attack this carbonyl. So this is the intermediate that you get. Now, as soon as this intermediate is formed, there are like two pathways that are possible. That is pathway 1, pathway B. So in the pathway B, what you get is a carbamic acid, which can undergo decomposition to give you CO2 plus your amine. So this is exactly what we are getting. And in the pathway 1, what you can have is amine can undergo, amine can be removed from the reaction to give you amine. And what you can have is just such type of carbonic acid, which can undergo dissociation to give you CO and tertiary. Also, this is exactly what is happening in this particular case. So that is the reason why the option A is the correct option. So the next problem which was asked, it said that if 1.5 gram of oxalic acid to hydrate is heated to dry up water of hydration, how much anhydrous CO2 would remain. बहुत सिंपल और स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है. उन्होंने पूछा है कि अगर 1.5 ग्राम है आपका ऑक्जेलिक एसिड का टू हाइड्रेट, अगर हम उसको हीट कर देते हैं एंड व्हाट वी गेट इज ऑक्जेलिक एसिड, मतलब दोनों के दोनों वाटर मॉलिक्यूल चले गए, तो कितनी क्वांटिटी ऑफ ऑक्जेलिक एसिड रहेगी. तो इन रियलिटी अगर हम देखें, सो इसको हमने एक तरह से ऑर्गेनिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं कि हमने ये लिया है हमारा स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल और हमारा प्रोडक्ट है. ठीक है, स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल का हमें अमाउंट दिया हुआ है 1.5 ग्राम और हमको इसका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट पता है, जो कि हम ईजिली कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. इसका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट आप ईजिली कैलकुलेट करोगे तो आपको पता चल जाएगा 126. सो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हमारे कितने मोल हैं रिएक्शन के, ठीक है, वो हम निकाल सकते हैं कि स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल का हमको वी हैव द मास, वी हैव द मॉलिक्यूलर मास. सो द number of moles of starting material is this one, okay, which is mass divided by the molecular mass. Okay, now कितना ये बनेगा, हमारा कितना ऑक्जेलिक एसिड बनेगा या कितना हमारा हाइड्रेशन हुआ, ठीक है, वो हम इजीली कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि अगर हम प्रोडक्ट के मॉलिक्यूलर वेट और हमारे स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल के हमारे मोल्स को अगर हम मल्टीप्लाई कर दें. इसी तरह से हम रिएक्शंस की ईल्ड भी कैलकुलेट करते हैं, अगर आपको याद हो. सो दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू. सो हमारा प्रोडक्ट इज ऑक्जेलिक एसिड, विच उसका जो मॉलिक्यूलर वेट 90 ग्राम पर मोल है. सो कितना हमको मास मिलेगा, हमको सिंपली स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल के नंबर ऑफ मोल्स मल्टीप्लाई बाय मॉलिक्यूलर वेट ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट से करना है. सो व्हाट डू वी एंड अप गेटिंग इज 1.07. गाइस, दिस इज प्रीटी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, अ सिंपल प्रॉब्लम, जो कि जिस तरह से हम रिएक्शन की यील्ड कैलकुलेट करते हैं, दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट फंडा वी have to apply in this case. So we are going to get the correct answer. So in this particular question, they asked a methyl group in the following compounds are what? Distereotopic, enantiotopic or distereotopic. Means these methyls, what are they? I think इस क्वेश्चन के अंदर मोस्टली अगर मुझे लगता है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स मस्ट हैव स्टक बिटवीन ऑप्शन नंबर ए एंड ऑप्शन नंबर सी. ऑप्शन नंबर ए ऑब्वियसली करेक्ट है, एंड वाई ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज नॉट करेक्ट वो देखते हैं. अब इसका मतलब देख लेते हैं, व्हाट डज द डाइस्टीरियोटोपिक मीन्स. सो इन द स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल इफ यू लुक एट, यू ऑलरेडी हैव अ कायरल सेंटर. ठीक है, अगर मैं इस मिथाइल को, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू रिप्लेस दिस मिथाइल बाय एनी अदर फंक्शनल ग्रुप, लेट अस से Z, दिस कैन बी सायोन और दिस कैन बी एनी अदर फंक्शनल ग्रुप. सो what I am doing is basically I am creating a one more chiral center here, right? So what I am end up getting is a diastereomers. ठीक है, डाइस्टीरियोमर. सो दैट इज द रीजन वाई दिस मिथाइल ग्रुप कैन बी टैग्ड एज डाइस्टीरियोटोपिक. सिमिलरली अगर हम 3 को देखें, 3 के अंदर भी देयर इज ऑलरेडी ए कायरल सेंटर हियर एंड व्हाट वी हैव इज अ मिथाइल. अगर इस मिथाइल ग्रुप को भी इफ आई एम रिप्लेस बाय एनी अदर फंक्शनल ग्रुप, व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू क्रिएट इज वन मोर कायरल सेंटर. सो एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच मिथाइल इन ऑप्शन नंबर for 1 and methyl for op 3 both are going to be distereotopic. और जहाँ पर the students might have got stuck, it is the DMSO. ये DMSO है, ठीक है. DMSO is enantiotopic. और इसके लिए आपको क्या पता, किस तरह से हम पता लगा सकते हैं कि अगर हम इस मिथाइल को किसी और फंक्शनल ग्रुप से अगर हम रिप्लेस करें, सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बिकम enantiotopic. इसके बारे में आपको एक मैं एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूँ. आई एम नॉट श्योर वेदर यू गाइज आर अवेयर ऑफ इट. इफ यू हैव हर्ड अबाउट इल्मान ऑक्सिलरी, इल्मान ऑक्सिलरी में क्या होता है कि व्हाट यू हैव इज अ टर्शियरी बुटाइल ग्रुप हेयर एंड व्हाट यू हैव इज एन अमीन हेयर. अगर मैं यहाँ पे अमीन की जगह टर्शियरी बुटाइल ग्रुप लगा दूँ, ठीक है, अगर टर्शियरी बुटाइल ग्रुप को मैं क्या करूँ, रिप्लेस कर दूँ अमीन से, व्हाट आई गेट इज chiral auxiliary. So this auxiliary is used for the asymmetric induction के लिए यूज होती है. हम क्या करते हैं, we take advantage of this amine to form the imine with ketones and aldehyde, और उसके बाद we carry out various kind of asymmetric allylation or asymmetric transformation, asymmetric imine hydrogenation. So such DMS auxiliary, ठीक है, are enantioselective. So that is the reason why, you know, once you replace this methyl by any Z group, what you will get is an enantiotopic. So I guess students जहाँ confused हुए होंगे because they are not, maybe they are not aware of it or maybe they are aware of it. So I think such examples can be very useful. So you can just search Ilman auxiliary in Google, so you will get to know, you know, such important auxiliaries exist in nature. So the next question which was asked to us was basically on the dipole moment concept. हमको clearly पता है, we are given benzene, water and this bridge aromatic system. तो clearly देख के हम बता सकते हैं इसमें कि this option number 3. We clearly know benzene के केस के अंदर there is just no dipole moment. So the net dipole moment is 0. There is just no dipole moment here. And we know in the case of water molecule the net dipole moment is in this direction. But what makes this particular compound what makes this particular compound number 3 having the largest dipole moment? It is because it is aromatic. If I just move the electrons like that, so what we are going to have a negative here, positive here, and what it does is basically it makes both these rings aromatic in nature. ठीक है, अगर हम हकल रूल लगाएं तो this is aromatic and this is also aromatic, as a result of which this molecule prefers to have a larger degree of dipole moment, because what it does, it achieves aromaticity in उस मतलब इस तरह का डायपोल मोमेंट होने की वजह से उसको रिटर्न में क्या मिलता है, इट गेन्स दिस एरोमेटिसिटी. सो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई फॉर सच कंपाउंड्स the dipole moment is pretty high. So that is why the option number B was the correct option. So the next question which was asked to us, here we were given the log P value. Basically they are talking about the octanol water partition coefficients and we were given various sets of amine. इसके अंदर पूछा गया है कि which one is going to have the highest solubility in water. So first of all I'm going to give you what does this octane water partition coefficient means, इसका मतलब क्या है, and then I'll tell you how you could have approached this question by you know thinking logically. So basically what does this octanol water partition coefficient, it is basically measure of hydrophilicity और lipophilicity. मतलब कोई भी organic molecule how much hydrophilic it is, मतलब water के प्रति उसको कितना प्यार है, and how much lipophilicity or how much lipophilic it is, means how much fat loving it is, means how easily it can be dissolved in hydrocarbons. इस तरह से हम कह सकते हैं how much it can be easily dissolved by the fats. So अगर हम log P values की बात करें, basically there is a big range. It varies from -3 to +3. So अगर if the log P value has -3, उसमें इसका मतलब है कि it is very hydrophilic. If it has a positive value, it means it is extremely lipophilic or hydrophobic. मतलब यहाँ पर it is going to be more soluble in the fats, and if it is a negative value, it is going to be more soluble in the water. So based on these values, we can clearly see it is the ethylamine which is going to be more soluble in water. ये तो हो गया कि based on the values. Let us suppose if you are not given with the values, even then you could have applied a simple concept. Now if you are going to have more number of carbons, ठीक है, more number of carbon chains, so alkyl chain, we know that the alkyl chain increases the लिपोफिलिसिटी इन मॉलिक्यूल. आपकी जितनी ज़्यादा एल्काइल चेन होगी मॉलिक्यूल में, जितने ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ कार्बन होंगे मॉलिक्यूल में एल्काइल चेन में, उतना ज़्यादा मॉलिक्यूल आपका क्या होगा, लिपोफिलिक होगा, उतना ज़्यादा आपका वो क्या होगा, हाइड्रोफोबिक होगा. सो इफ वी काउंट इन दिस केस वी हैव टोटल नंबर ऑफ 8 कार्बन्स. Here we have 7 carbons, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Here we have, and in this case we have only 2 carbons. So it means that this is going to be more water soluble as compared to the others that are present in as compared to the other options that are given to us. So हम उस concept को लगा के भी इस प्रॉब्लम इस सॉल्यूशन पर अराइव कर सकते थे अगर हमको ये वैल्यू नहीं भी पता होता, या तो अगर आपको लेट अस सपोज you have no idea about the log p values, you just don't know how to interpret the log p value, you could have used your logic that which amine has the highest solubility. Obviously the amine which is going to have least number of alkyl chain is going to be more soluble in water, and it is ethylamine which has least number of alkyl chain, that is only 2 carbons here. ठीक है, so that is how you could have approached this problem. So here the next problem, it was asked from the carbon 13 NMR, how many peaks are you going to see in this one? So if we look at this particular molecule here, what we have is an alkene. So we are going to have one signal for this methyl, for this CH2, and one for this carbon, and 1 2 3 4, and we are going to have 5 6. So we are going to have total 6 signals. Why? Because this particular methyl is trans to this hydrogen, right? मतलब इस वाले हाइड्रोजन की, और ये वाला जो मिथाइल है, it is going to be cis to this. So as a result of which it has different chemical environment. Similarly इसको दूसरे हिसाब से भी देख सकते हैं कि that this methyl group is cis to ethyl group, whereas this methyl group is trans to the ethyl group. That is the reason why these two methyl group is going to give you 2 different signal. This was saying carbon 13 we are going to have 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you are going to have total 6 signals in the 13C NMR. Similarly यहाँ पर again dipole moment का एक और example पूछा है, and here they have added one more term, gas phase. Gas phase का मतलब क्या है कि there are no other interactions. So though there are no other external interactions, because if we do a dipole moment in some solvent, obviously वहाँ पर क्या होता है कि the solvents can interact with the compound, as a result of which there could be an impact on the dipole moment. But in the case of the gas phase, it is the natural tendency of the functional groups that predominate. So जो इन्होंने ऊपर हमारा order दिया हुआ है, they have clearly given us the order, field order, which is highest for the tertiary butyl group. If it is going to be highest for the tertiary butyl group, then obviously in the gas phase, it is this factor which is going to predominate. That is the reason why it is option D, which is the correct answer. ठीक है? So in the next math question, they were asking us an organic compound is estimated through Damas method and found to evolve 6 moles of CO2, 4 moles of HO2, and 1 mole of nitrogen. Calculate the molecular formula. Honestly, this is pretty straightforward and बहुत आराम से आप इसको निकाल सकते थे. देखिए, Damas method अगर आपको नहीं भी पता होता, let us suppose मुझे नहीं पता Damas method is used for the nitrogen estimation. I have no idea. Let us suppose what you could have seen is that in the method what they are evolving is 6 moles of CO2, H2O, N2, and all the options that are given to us, कहीं पर भी आपका ऑक्सीजन नहीं है. So एक चीज़ मैं क्लियरली इससे पता लगा सकता हूँ कि ये मेथड के अंदर what you are doing is basically ऑक्सीजन किसी फॉर्म के अंदर you are just ejecting, right? It means ऑक्सीजन आप में हीट कर रहे हैं आप उस ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड को. That is the reason why this oxygen is coming from the heating the compound in the oxygen media. So क्योंकि आप 6 molecule of CO2 eject कर रहे हैं, तो यहाँ पर 6 moles of C means what you have is C6. Since you are having 4 moles of H2, so we can clearly see, we can multiply 4 by 2 into 8, and we are evolving only 1 mole of nitrogen, so we can have simply N2. So we can clearly arrive at the correct answer अगर हम इन्हीं number of moles को ही consider कर लें. So now look at what Damas method is. It basically used to estimate the nitrogen present. So what do we do? Basically we take the organic compound and we heat it with the oxygen, and what we release is CO2, water, and the N2. So this is exactly what is happening here. If we take option number D and we balance it out, we get the correct option. So pretty straightforward. Again, class 12th chemistry है, or this is what TFIA does. They go sometimes right to the basics just to test the knowledge of the. So here this problem was based on the Birch reduction, which we were given the indol, and they were telling us to just reduce it using lithium and liquid ammonia using methanol, and option D was the correct options. I've already made a video on this one, so I'm going to share a small clip.
हर जगह टर्शियरी बुटानॉल डाल रहा हूं, बट इट कुड बी इथेनॉल, इट कुड बी अमोनियम क्लोराइड, कुछ भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, तो जैसे कि हमने बोला कि इसके अंदर आपका क्या होता है, रिडक्शन हमेशा कौन सा होता है, इसमें रिडक्शन होता है आपका जो इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट रिंग होती है. ठीक है, इट इज इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट रिंग्स, इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट रिंग का रिडक्शन होता है हमेशा. ठीक है, ये चीज याद रखना. तो दोनों में से इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट रिंग कौन सी है? आपका नाइट्रोजन इधर है. नाइट्रोजन क्या करता है, अपनी तरफ इलेक्ट्रॉन पुल करता है. ठीक है, अपनी तरफ अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन नाइट्रोजन पुल करेगा तो कौन सा वाला रिंग आपका इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट हो जाएगा, आपका पॉजिटिव चार्ज यहाँ या नेगेटिव यहाँ है। इसका मतलब ये वाला रिंग जो आपका इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट है, तो आपका रिडक्शन जो होगा आपका इस रिंग का होगा। सो दिस विल बी द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द रिएक्शन, आपका रिएक्शन का प्रोडक्ट ये होगा। ठीक है, एक और एग्जांपल ले लो, ये भी आपका एग्जाम में पूछा गया था, इंडोल का सेम चीज, दोनों के अंदर से आपका इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच रिंग कौन सा है, आपका इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट कौन सा है। यहाँ के तो नाइट्रोजन के लोन पेयर इलेक्ट्रॉन आ गए ना, तो इसका मतलब क्या है आपका, मतलब आपका ये रिंग कंपैरेटिवली इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच है एज कंपेयर टू दिस रिंग, तो इसका मतलब अंडर दिस कंडीशन दिस रिंग विल गेट रिड्यूस। ठीक है, कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है ये वाला, आई थिंक, आई होप दिस इज प्रीटी क्लियर। So this will be the product of the reaction. So always the electron deficient ring will undergo reduction. Suppose you have this naphthol. In naphthol hai, under same condition, but you are doing lithium, ammonia, liquid, tertiary-butanol. What will be the product? This is electron rich ring. So reduction किसका होगा? Electron deficient ring का होगा. So this will be the product of the reaction. इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंट रिंग का हमेशा। ठीक है,
so the last problem which was asked to us was basically they are giving us this nitrogen mustard chloroambiquinol, which is an anti-cancer drug, and they are telling us, they are asking us how does it interact with this particular DNA base pair. So we are given a set of option. Obviously option number 1 is the correct one, which is marked as yellow, but why other options are not correct? ठीक है, let us look at option number B. In the option number B, what they are saying is the lone pair of electron on this nitrogen of guanidine, ठीक है, it is attacking the acid, as a result of which it is forming this type of an acyl derivative. This acid is just not activated, and what they are clearly mentioning, physiological condition, means normal reaction condition. We are not, they have not mentioned any coupling reagents or any advanced conditions. So such type of an amide coupling, such type of an acyl derivative, they just cannot form. Just remember this, they just cannot form on their own. So we can neglect option number B, we can neglect option number C, क्योंकि option number C also they are showing the same thing. You cannot have the acylated derivative by simply mixing an amine with the acid. And anyway, this is not a free amine, this is just जैसे कि इमेडाजोल के केस में होता है, like a pyridine के केस में होता है, this is that type of an sp2 amine, so it just does not form such type of derivatives. What about option number D? So in the option number D, what it is showing is basically it is this nitrogen, okay, it is this nitrogen, this free amine, it is attacking the acid to form the amide. So as I said, that formation of an amide without activating the acid is just not possible. You have to activate the acid in order to react with the amine. Either या तो आपको क्या करना होगा, you have to really beat on it, you have to heat it अच्छे से, but अगर आप बहुत अच्छे से heat करेंगे तो I'm sure you are going to destroy your DNA base pair. So they have not mentioned any conditions as such. So we can easily neglect option number D as well. So what sounds more logical is this amine, so this sp2 hybridized nitrogen, it can simply carry out the SN2 substitution, which is given in option number A. So this sounds more logical because such reactions we have seen taking place, whereas other options that are given to us are far extreme and options that are just not possible. Okay, so this was pretty much about this particular video. So if you have any question, do write me a comment in the video section. So thanks a lot for watching the video. Have a good day. Bye.